Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Math 10C, Chapter 4, Section 4, Factoring ax squared plus bx plus c, Part 2. Now, moving on, here we have another polynomial factor, x squared minus 2x minus 8. So as I suggested earlier, x squared minus 2x minus 8, write it down in the blocks. And once again, you have two sets of blocks, just in case you make a mistake in the first one. So it's fairly obvious. It's x plus something times x plus something. Now, here the key, x plus something equals minus 2. Could be anything. But x something times something, why do I keep saying x, equals minus 8. Now, your first thought is minus 8, what? Well, let's look at plus 8. What are the factors of 1 and 8? 1 and 8, or 2 and 4. Now, since it's negative 8, it's minus 1 and plus 8, or 1 and minus 8, minus 2 and plus 4, or 2 and minus 4. So we've got four options to choose from. All of them multiply together to be minus 8, but which of them add together to be minus 2? 2 minus 4. So x plus 2, x minus 4. That gives us x and minus 4x, 2x. Yes, so this is x plus 2 times x minus 4. And yes, doesn't matter the order. You can write it as x minus 4 times x plus 2. It doesn't matter. You will get the same answer, as long as you FOIL it correctly. Okay? Now, a few more to practice on. Z squared minus 2z minus 48. Z squared minus 2z minus 48. So, notice here, this is why we've been practicing the multiplication tables. You should be able to come up with the factors of plus 48 fairly quickly. 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16, 4 and 12. Yes. 5 doesn't work. 6 and 8. Sorry, I'll write 6 and 8 down here. Then we hit 7. That doesn't work. Okay, now, since this is minus 48, oh, you bacha. Minus 1 and 48, or 1 and minus 48, that does not equal minus 2. Minus 2 and 24, or 2 and minus 24 does not work. Minus 3 and 16, 3 and minus 16 does not work. Minus 4 and 12, 4 and minus 12 does not work. Minus 6 and 8 does not work, but 6 and minus 8 does. And this is why I gave you two blocks to work. Write it out just in case. So z plus 6, z minus 8. Okay. Now, next one. And no, I'll do this blue because I haven't done blue in a while. D squared minus 12d plus 35. D squared minus 12d and 35. This must be d times d. Now, factors of 35. 1 and 35. 2 doesn't work, 3 doesn't work, 5 and 7. Now the problem is none of them add together to be plus 12. Sorry, none of them add together to be minus 12. They all add together to be plus. So you have to realize here, second standard trick, it could be minus 1 and minus 35, or minus 5 and minus 7. D minus 5, D minus 7 works. Minus 5 minus 7 is minus 12, and minus 5 times minus 7 is plus 35. So sometimes it's two negatives. Okay? Now, all right, let's do the next one. I want to pause the recording. I want you to do this, and we'll come back and compare results, okay? So pause the recording. All right, so 1 and 7, but since it's negative, it's minus 1 and minus 7. All right, and the next one, a squared plus 7a minus 18 once again, let's pause the recording. Work on it, we'll come back. So pause the recording. Welcome back. A squared 7a minus 18. A so plus 9 minus 2. Now I did that because I told you to pause the recording, do it, and come back and check your work. Which you should have done. Minus 18 got 18 is 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Since it's negative, and none of those work. Well, actually, this one does. Minus 2 and 9 works. You should keep on going. Go 1 and minus 18, 2 and minus 9, 3 and minus 6. Okay? Factoring, multiplying. Now, second standard trick. What the heck is this? Well, this is d squared minus 5d minus 24. Written in a different order just to confuse you. So, looking at minus 24, what? Minus 24, let's look at 24. That would be 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Then we start repeating ourselves. Since it's negative, negative 1 and 24 doesn't work. 1 and minus 24 doesn't work. Minus 2 and 12 do not equal minus 5. 2 and minus 12 doesn't work. Minus 3 and 8, 3 and minus 8 works. So 3 and minus 8, so this is d plus 3, d minus 8. And double checking, minus 8d, 3d, add together, yes. So this is d plus 3 times d minus 8. Okay? So, a few more to practice on. Then we get on to the sneaky ones. So this is m squared plus 7m minus 30. So that's m times m. Now, factors of minus 30. Well, let's do the positives first. 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. And then, yeah, now we're repeating ourselves. So, to add together, minus 1 and 30, minus 2 and 15. Oh, there we go. Minus 3 and 10. Okay, now you're right. Somebody's saying you should get in the habit of listing all of them and double checking because, you know, poop happens. And if you have time, do that. Yes, it's still m minus 3. Oh, m times 10m minus 3m minus 3. Yes, double checking. That works. Okay, so if you have a moment, check all your answers and fill in the table, just to make, the rectangle, just to make certain you got it right, because poop happens. Now, the only other trick I can give you would be here. Factor the trinomial with a common factor, then its binomial factors. So 4x squared plus 4x minus 48. What's common to all of them? Well, I can divide all of them by 4. Remember we did factoring in 4.3? So this is 4 times x squared plus x minus 12. Yes. Now to factor this, we're looking for x squared, x minus 12. And notice that's a lot easier to factor. Instead of factoring minus 48, you're factoring minus 12. So that's x at x. Now, what two numbers add together to be 1x, or sorry, 1, and multiply together to be minus 12. Well, I can hear some of you screaming at me now, but factors 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Since it's negative 12, minus 1 and 12 doesn't work. 1 and minus 12 don't add together to be 1. Minus 2 and 6, 2 and minus 6. Minus 3 and 4. X minus 3, x plus 4. Yes, so this is 4 times x minus 3 times x plus 4. And I should prove that just x times 4 is 4x. Yes. I should take the extra step of filling in the table just to prove it. Okay? Let me see, how many more? A few more. All right, so let's practice a few of them. So, minus 5h squared minus 20h plus 60. What can I factor from each term? Well, I'll give you a hint, minus 5. Because this one is always x squared, or 1x squared, or 1h squared, or 1j squared, or whatever number. So we're always looking for something squared by itself. So divide everything by minus 5. Now here's where people make dumb math boo-boos. H squared plus 4h minus 12. So h squared, 4h minus 12. This is h and h. So two numbers that add together to be 4. That's a lot. But what multiply together to be minus 12. So minus 12 is 1 and 12. Sorry, minus 1 and 12, or 1 and minus 12. Nope. 2 and 6, or minus 2 and... Oh, minus 2 and 6 works. h minus 2 plus 6. That gives us 6h minus 2h. Yes. There we go. So the answer is minus 5, bracket h minus 2, close bracket, bracket h plus 6, close bracket. And you notice I'm starting to get lazy. I'm not listing all the other possible options. If you have time, great. If not, I'm getting old. I don't want to do that. I don't want to list them all. So I want you guys to pause the recording and do this one. We'll come back and compare answers. So pause the recording. Tell me you've paused it, because I have to take you at your word. Yes, minus 32. So that's t squared, 4t minus 32. That has to be t and t. So it's minus 4 times, let me see, factors of minus 32. 1 and 32 is minus 1 and 32. 1 and minus 32 do not add to be 4. 2 and 16, so minus 2 and 16. 2 and minus 16 do not add to be 4. 4 and 8. Minus 4, yes, minus 4 plus 8 works. That's 8t minus 4t, yes. There we go. So it's minus 4 bracket t minus 4, close bracket, bracket t plus 8. One last one. So 7c squared minus 35c plus 42. We can divide everything by 7, so that's 7 times c squared minus 5c plus 6. So c squared minus 5c plus 6. C and c. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Now, notice here, none of them had to be minus 5, but we've seen this trick before. Minus 1, minus 6 will multiply together to be plus 6, but they don't have to be minus 5. Minus 2 and minus 3 will. And does it matter the order? No. Okay, so I think that's enough for me. So I'm running out of examples here. But this is what I need to be able to do. Take an x squared plus bx plus c and factor it into x plus something times x plus something. All right? Any questions, shoot me an email. Otherwise, good luck.